The pattern for this beautiful afghan is on the website. But in order to make or crochet the afghan, you'll need to know how to read a pattern, and that's what we're going to talk about today on the Crochet Corner. In the beginning of the pattern, after it calls out what type of yarn and what hook you'll need to use, it will give you a gauge swatch. And depending on the hook you use, you can see here, I've gone and made up the same size swatch with the same number of stitches and rows. This is 15 stitches wide by 15 rows tall. And you can see, based on using a different size hook in each of these swatches, look at how varied the gauge is. Now, depending on which swatch you decide, let's say that this was the swatch that I made to sample for the pattern, I would take a tape measure and measure across. It's about 5 inches. Because we did 15 stitches across, you would take the 15 stitches divided by 5. 15 stitches divided by 5 inches equals 3 stitches to the inch. So if the pattern called for 3 stitches to the inch, you're ready. If they didn't, if it was higher or lower, you would adjust your hook size to obtain the right gauge. This is also the way we would measure the row gauge. You would take the number of rows and divide that by the number of inches tall your swatch is. If sometimes a pattern will give you a gauge in a 4-inch swatch, and all you would do is, if your swatch measurement is based on 1 inch, you would multiply that by 4 to equal 4 inches. So 3 stitches to the inch would also be 12 stitches to 4 inches. The next part of a pattern would be reading the actual lines, and that's what I'm going to show you now. I have on this page some lines of pattern written out, starting with row 1. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a chain 1 single crochet in each stitch across, which we can definitely do at this point. And then rows 2 through 4 are actually say repeat row 1. Well, all that means is that the instructions from row 1, chain 1 single crochet in each stitch across, you're going to do that for row 2, row 3, and then again for row 4. Row 5 is a little more complicated. And also, crochet patterns tend to be a bit wordy, so sometimes we use symbols to summarize things that are going to be repeated more than once. And in this row of pattern, we use an asterisk. And if you notice here in the first line, it says chain 1 single crochet in same stitch, then there's an asterisk, and then you continue on with instructions, and then on the next sentence starts with repeat from asterisk. All that means is, from that asterisk to the point where it says repeat from, you're going to repeat that area until it says otherwise. In this one it says to the last 2 stitches, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So what I'm going to do is read the pattern as I'm crocheting the pattern. So it's a chain 1 single crochet in same stitch, chain 3, skip 1 stitch, single crochet in next stitch, chain 3, skip 1 stitch, work 2 double crochets in next stitch, 1 and 2, and then we're going to repeat from the asterisk across to the last 2 stitches. So we start again with chain 3, skip 1 stitch, single crochet in next stitch, chain 3, skip 1 stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then repeat again from the asterisk until we have 2 stitches left here, chain 3, don't have 2 left, so we still have more than 2. Skip 1 stitch, single crochet in next stitch, chain 3, skip 1 stitch, work 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and it said repeat until you're to the last 2 stitches. Well, we are at the last 2 stitches now, so we go past that asterisk to the colon, and it says chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 stitch, and single crochet in the last stitch, and there you have it. And that's today's Crochet Corner.
Knitting Daily. Make time for yarn every day. Visit knittingdailytv.com for free access to all of the project instructions, ideas, tips, and techniques from this season of Knitting Daily.